I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 348. Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Hi, all my dear friends all over the world. How are you today? It's the beginning. Well, we're not even the beginning of the holidays anymore. It's kind of like we're in it, the holidays. I put a Christmas tree up. Well, I didn't put a Christmas tree up, but my sweet, beautiful husband, Michael, put a Christmas tree up. And you know what? I love it. It puts me in the spirit, just makes me happy. I think I should have a Christmas tree up more often. I don't think I should wait as long as I do. I don't know. When do you put yours up? Or if do you put yours up? Maybe you don't even celebrate it. So, I don't want to get into specifics. I'm just saying, for many of you, this is the holiday season. Even if you don't celebrate anything, it still is. So welcome to the holidays. So I was thinking, what I want to do more than anything else during this season is I want to give back and I want to help you. So one of the things that I've decided to do, well, there's two things. Number one, I'm going to talk to you about the part 2 of my Thinner Peace Holiday Challenge today to give you something else to think about and to do during the holidays that will help you throughout your life. This is just a good time to do it. And the other thing that I want to talk to you about is what I got in store for you this holiday season that I think might really benefit you. And so I think I'll talk about that first. So I think the holidays are all about, number one, gratitude, how you feel. And the other thing for me, and it really should be all year round, but it really seems to come more into play during the holidays, is how to help and how to give back. And one of the things that I have found by letters that I've heard from you and talking to you personally, either through mini sessions or whatever, is that for some of you, working with me is not an option because of financial issue for you. And I know that this can be a very tough time financially. And so what I've decided to do as a way to give back is I'm going to do a free coaching call. I will give you all the specifics, but for now, if you want to find out more about it or how to sign up for it, you can go to drdebbutler.com/348, and you'll be able to find out much more information about this. But it's just something that came to me today as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you about is I can help you, number one, by doing 348 podcasts. So that's got to be helpful. And I've gotten so many letters from all of you about how helpful this has been for you. And what I think is missing and why I think people hire me is that probably my gift in this world is I am just a very, very good coach. I am very good at getting into people's minds and seeing what they can't see and being able to show it in the most loving, authentic, believable way for whoever I'm working with to be able to get it and to integrate it into their system, feel a lot better about themselves. And that is just something, I've had a lot of training for sure, but it's also something that I feel is just a gift. So what I want to do with this gift, this holiday season, is just give it freely. And that's why I'm going to do this free coaching call. I don't even have the date yet, but you will by the time you get on this link. But I just want to be able, for those of you who may never have an opportunity to work directly with me, I want to give you this opportunity to work directly with me and get coached. That's all this call is going to be. It's just going to be coaching. I'm not going to teach anything. I'm going to coach you. So, those of you who maybe have been listening to this podcast for a while, for those of you who love what I have to teach, but know that maybe it's not a possibility that you can work with me at this time, you never know what's going to happen. But for now, then I want you to be able to sign up for this call and either one, get coached, or at least have the ability to watch me coach somebody else that may have something very, very similar to you. And you'll watch me coach them and you will get coached too. Some people love to be out and they love to be coached and they love to talk. And so those are the people that will probably be coached. And some of you are a little bit more quiet, maybe a little bit more introverted, but love what I have to teach and would love to be coached, but maybe not live. So when I'm coaching somebody else, it may give you a perfect opportunity to have your mind coached because the problems may be similar or maybe something you didn't even recognize. So that is what's up with me of what I'm going to do for you this holiday season is just some free coaching. And I think it warms my heart and it makes me feel so good about what I can do for you. And there's nothing else I want. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not going to promote a class. All I'm going to do is coach. And when I'm through coaching, I'm going to say goodbye. And you're going to get a recording of it. And hopefully, it's going to make your holiday season better and it's going to make your new year better. That is my hope. Now, with that being said, that is something that warms my heart, and that's why I'm doing it. I was talking to myself today, and I talk to myself a lot. It's like I was asking myself, what do I need this holiday season that will help me? This is what came up is I just want to do some free coaching. I don't want any obstacles in the way for any of you to be able to hear this when it comes to money. I'm taking money off the table. So you have to invest your time and commitment and show up. You do that, I'll do my part, and we're both going to get what we want. Now, this brings me to part 2 of this Thinner Peace Holiday Challenge. So I'm switching gears a little bit, so stay here with me. First, I talked about this free coaching that I'm doing as a part of what I want to do for you that makes me feel good, what I need, and probably what you need too. And now, part 2 of the Thinner Peace Holiday Challenge is this. What do you need? That's what I want you to be thinking about. So part 1 was all about when you sit down to eat, can you start at a -2 and stop at a +2? And I usually, from a philosophical point of view, eat mostly fuel, but joy eating is perfectly part of the plan, can be part of the plan. And when it comes to this holiday season for you, what I want you to be able to do is to be able to combine joy and fuel eating together without fogging. So it's eating between the twos, eating non-nutritious food, which is joy food, and nutritious food, which is fuel food, combining them in a way where maybe mostly you get fuel food with some joy food. And the joy eating itself will be very, very mindful because the proper way to use joy eating, the way I talk about it, is that it is very mindful. You eat it bite by bite and you stop the minute that you're done. And fuel eating is all about eating nutritious food and filling up your gas tank or your belly, starting at a -2 and stopping at a +2. And I think there's no better time to practice this concept than during a time when you might be telling yourself things like it doesn't matter, forget about it, disconnect, do whatever you want, as if do whatever you want is a lovely thing to do for yourself. Like disconnecting and don't pay attention is a lovely thing to do for yourself. It's not. A lovely thing to do for yourself would be to think about what you want to eat, to think about what the joy eats are, to maybe have them planned when you're going to eat them, and to eat between the twos between fuel and joy. Simple. But I think if you can do that during the season when you do a lot of mind chatter about disconnecting, I think you can create a connection in your brain, a new neural pathway that will start you out on the right foot in 2023. Okay, so that's part one. And you've been doing that for a week, haven't you? And if you're just listening to this for the first time, you start it now. Now, part two. I think the second thing that probably people resonate with more than anything about my teachings is about self compassion and being kind to yourself. It's like a concept that you all love and don't know how to do. And listen, I understand. I didn't know how to do it either. And I still have a difficult time with it many, many times. You know, I get a little too judgy with myself. I get hard on myself. I don't like what I see when I do things I don't want to be doing. I'm really no different than you. I just have a lot more mind management and mind training. So sometimes I am really able to catch myself and I'm really able to catch it in my clients, which is why when I do these free coaching calls, you want to be on and you want to be coached because when you can see this and when you can redirect your mind and make yourself feel differently, it makes all the difference in the world. So, part two is being kinder to yourself. Now, how does that look and what do you do? All right, let me give you some suggestions. First of all, I don't know if you've ever, I think with children, it's probably the easiest, children or grandchildren. When you're around children that you love, something in you swells up and it's your heart. It really is. At least for me and my grandchildren, my heart just radiates. It feels so good. The reason that it feels so good is because there's actually a hormone called oxytocin that's being released. And oxytocin basically is the love drug in our bodies. And it's mostly talked about in terms of when we're nursing our babies and when we're around our babies and just around children in general, that when we feel that strong feeling, the reason that we feel it is because of the hormone that is released. And when you feel love, because that's basically what it is, you're feeling love. You feel it in your heart. It's warm. It feels so good. You want more of it. And I think you never will need more oxytocin than during the holidays because it's usually the time when many of you get depleted. So, my part two of the centerpiece challenge is how to increase your oxytocin, increase this warm heart feeling during the holidays. So, instead of feeling depleted, you feel more invigorated with love. And it makes you want to do things in a way that feel actually authentic and real. Now, how does that actually look? Well, I'm going to give you a suggestion because one of the things that I did, I feel like I'm being pretty authentic with you right now when I tell you a little bit about this story about what happened to me during one holiday season when I was trying to be kinder to myself. Was that one of the things that we did during our holiday season, and I'm sure many of you have things that you do them every year, and maybe some of them warms your heart, maybe some of them is depleting and you wish you didn't do it. Well, this one year, I was learning how to be kinder to myself during the holiday season. And one of the things that I realized was that there was something that I just didn't want to do anymore. I didn't have the energy for it, and I didn't feel that it was the best thing for me. And I'm not even going to get into the whole thing of what it was. I just want to tell you that it upset a lot of people when I did it. And it was a difficult thing to do, but it changed everything for me in all of my holiday seasons when I decided that it's just something I had to say no to. And it was what I needed, but I had so much fear about what other people would think. And I think during the holiday seasons is when we're more worried about what other people are going to think about us than what we think about ourselves. And if you're a people pleaser in general, then it shows up more during the holidays. And this is even a more important challenge for you if you know you do this all year round. I think during the holidays, we all have a little bit in us. But if you were wanting to create more oxytocin in yourself, which means more loving yourself more. So far, what I've been telling you about producing oxytocin is when you feel love for somebody else, children, babies, it releases that hormone. But you can also work on feeling more love for yourself, being kinder to yourself by talking to yourself and saying, "Sweetheart, I love you. What do you need?" And almost it's like taking your hand and putting it over on your heart and giving yourself a hug and going, "Sweetheart, what do you need?" Now, for me, many Christmases ago, many holidays ago, was when I made this decision. Well, what I need is I can't do this anymore. And I needed me to stand up for myself and do something that other people didn't like. And I got to tell you that once it was over, it felt so good that I could do that for myself. And it was out of love for myself that I did it. Now, I think it's easier to do it for somebody else. I think I'm very good at loving people who are around me, seeing what they need, giving it to them. And sometimes I can do it at the expense of what's good for me. And I don't want to call this selfish. I just want to call it because I think a lot of you start thinking, well, that's being selfish. And I think for many of you, that's what the problem is that you use that word and then you overgive on yourself. And you think that if you didn't do that, you would be selfish. But instead, it's like, how do I love on myself and give myself what I need? The holiday season is a perfect time to do it. Now, you don't have to start with something big. What I did was big. You start with little things. It could be something as simple as, you know what? I'm not going to, I don't know, maybe you do a lot of baking. Maybe instead of 20 sets of cookies that you make, you only do one or two. And then your little brain starts telling you, but yeah, but all the people, they depend on you and they all want those cookies and blah, 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 whatever it is. That would be a little bit more simple, but watch what you say when you talk to yourself, "Sweetheart, what would you like to do? What would make it easier for you to enjoy the holidays?" Because maybe you would like to do some, but maybe not as many as you did. You start asking yourself, "Sweetheart, what do you need? How can I love you more?" It's a way of producing love inside of you with yourself talking to you. Now, you've got about 3 weeks to practice this, and I have a feeling you're going to have a lot of opportunities that are going to come up to use it. And instead of asking yourself, what do they need? And what will they expect of me? And what will they think of me if I don't do it? I want you to go inward and ask yourself, "Sweetheart, what do you need? How will you feel if you don't do this? How will you feel?" And maybe the answer that you'll get when you put your hand on your heart is, "I will feel better." But they may not like me. They may not approve. And if that's what comes up, I want you to go and say to yourself, "And so what?" Not in a way that's flippant, but in a way that is more like, "Sweetheart, so what? It's okay. They don't have to love you all the time. They don't have to approve of you all the time. You don't need everybody's approval all the time. It's okay. You need a little bit more of your own approval. And now is a really good time to practice it by asking yourself, this is part 2 of the challenge. What do you need, sweetheart? How can I help you? How can I love you during the holidays? And I don't think it's going to be buying things. I think it's going to be taking things off of your plate. I think it's going to be really looking at what do you really want to do? Maybe 20 years ago, you started a tradition and you really loved it at the time, like I did with the thing that I dropped. But, maybe 20 years later, you don't anymore. Ask yourself if you feel this feeling inside of you that's going, yuck. You feel this sinking feeling going on in your stomach when you think about doing this one thing. Yuck. Ask yourself, just like you would somebody you loved, your child, your grandchild, what do you need, sweetheart? How can we make it better for you? And I will tell you, you will start producing the love hormone inside of you, loving on yourself for the holidays. And that's a gift that keeps on giving. Now, before I end this podcast, I also want to tell you that I have something that I've written. I've had it for a while, but I haven't talked about it. But I think it's one of the best things that I ever wrote. And it was called The Number One Secret to Menopausal Weight Loss. And you can read it by going to drdebbutler.com/secret. And you can find out what I think the secret is. It has a lot to do with what I've just been talking about. But let's make this the season where you put more love out in the world by putting more love inside yourself first. Create that oxytocin inside of you by loving yourself. And you know what? Love is all there is. When you feel love, I promise you the action of feeling love is going to be good things, period. So before I end, you know what I'm going to say. No matter where you go or what you do, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye. If you've been loving my podcast and you want more information, maybe a little bit more of my secrets, then please go to drdebbutler.com/secret, SECRET, and get my musings, my writings on what I think the number one secret is to menopausal weight loss. And I'm going to tell you this, it's probably not what you think, but it could change everything for you. So please go to drdebbutler.com/secret and find out what I think the number one secret to menopausal weight loss is.